God, you guys, now we have audio. This is what it's been like for me. Okay, before I continue to bitch, we're going to create sacred space. Okay, we're going to create sacred space together. We're going to make a circle. We're going to go clockwise. I'm going to turn this down. There. Better? Better. Perfect. Hi, Elaine. Thank you. Okay. Sacred space. All right. By the air that is her breath, welcome east. By the fire of her bright spirit, welcome south. By the waters of her living womb, welcome west. And by the earth that is her body, welcome north. As above, so below, we are in sacred space. So, what I meant to tell you when I was talking and I had no audio was that I'm in Denver and it's hot as heck in Denver. And I'm here because I'm helping to caretake for my dad, and I'm here for a week. And so I'm in this little Airbnb. So have alter will travel, right? It's been interesting already. And as I was saying at the beginning of the stream when no one could hear me, I have Saturn on the mind. So we're going to be talking about Lord Saturn tonight. But before we do that, let's go ahead and check in with the astrological weather like we always do. If you don't have your rising sign, then you should get your birth chart and order it from my website. And it's free. And so, Anne, I know what your rising sign is. And Elaine, I don't know what yours is. And I don't know if you've ever had your chart done before. But if you know your rising sign, then go ahead and put it in the comments. But if not, I'm just going to show you my website and where to order. Hi, Erin. Hi, I'm so glad you're here. So you missed like all of my technical difficulties. So you got here at a good time. All right, so I was going to show you my website, guys. Hold on. If I can get there. That's not it. Hold on. Here we go. I will get here. Down. There. I have no idea what you guys are seeing. Because I'm watching it on Facebook, so it's really delayed. But I hope you don't. Sorry, hold on, guys. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay, so now you're on my website. So let me just make this go away. Okay. And then, so to get your free birth chart, natal chart, is first of all, I would ask you to subscribe. Come on. And then so you go down here and put in your email, sign up, and then it'll take you to a page that will, ask you to enter your information to get on my mailing list. And then it will remind you to go ahead and go to the link here to actually order the chart. And so there's that there. And then you just click on this, and then you go to the next page, and that's where you put in your birth data. Now, the time of birth is really important. That's how you actually get the rising sign. So, the best place to find that is your birth certificate. So if you have that, check your birth certificate, because our relatives' memories aren't always so great. Like, you know, I was told I was born at 3:30 in the afternoon, and that was the time that my oldest sister was born. And that makes a lot of difference. And people are texting me here. I just want to make sure that it's nobody trying to get on. Okay, so there's that, guys. Order your birth chart, free, totally free. I'd love to send it to you so then you'll know your rising sign. All right, let me try this here. Where are we at? Okay, so this is the astrological weather, guys. All right, so we know that we started the lunar cycle way back in July 20th. That was the new moon, and it was opposing Saturn. Okay, so that kind of set a tone. That set a tone for the whole cycle. Saturn is about limitations and getting real with things, and delay, and even loneliness, but also hard work and responsibility. So we started out the lunar cycle under those energies, and then we had this full moon on August 3rd, and that full moon was squaring, forming like a relationship to the planet Uranus. And Uranus is the rebel of the planets, and he's the revolutionary, he, she, whatever. So that was just that full moon. I don't know if you guys felt it. Put it in the comments. Hi, Julie. So now, okay, we got Aaron and Elaine and Julie and Anne. Anne, you still here? I don't see your name up here anymore. There you are at the top. Okay. So what I was saying was, put in the comments how you guys experienced that full moon, okay? Because I think this is the first stream we've had since then. It was squaring Uranus, so it should have brought some upheaval or just surprises, things unexpected. Maybe just like some flashes of insight. And then what else did we have? And we had, so Venus was conjunct, that means together in the sky, same degree, with the North Node. So that just meant that it made all the Venusian energies more intense. And, Venus is the planet of love and relationship and beauty and everything that we do for pleasure. So, maybe you enjoyed some of those Venusian energies, or maybe you overdid them. Maybe you overdid them and you I don't know, you just had too much fun. Okay, so then we had Mars square Jupiter right around the same time, which would kind of give you similar energies, because Mars wants to activate everything, and squaring Jupiter wants to make everything big. So right around the 3rd, the 4th, I mean, it should have been a pretty intense full moon for a lot of us. So let me know, guys. Let's see. There we go. This is what Aaron says. Yeah, exactly along the lines of what you said. Put your comment up there. And there we go. So, but now, let me see what Anne has to say. My dreams came back since the full moon. I'm now having full dreams and lots of messages. Okay, cool. Oh, I think I lost my, here it is. See, this is what I had plugged up wrong. There's one just like this, looks exactly like this. This is the transmitter, and then the one on the camera is the receiver, and I had them switched, which is why you couldn't hear me. Okay, but thank you, Anne, for letting me know. I had no audio, because I could have just been talking for like an hour and a half, and no one would have known. That wouldn't have been cool. Okay, where were we? Yeah, so the full moon, and hi, Kathleen. We were just talking about the full moon. How was the full moon for you? What says paused? Am I still paused? No, I'm not still paused. Please tell me I'm not still paused. Okay, so yeah, Elaine. So, Elaine, order your birth chart. Do you have your birth time? Let me know in the comments. That's all you need. because I know you know the day you were born and the place you were born. We just need the time. Okay. Just want to make sure I said hi to everybody. Okay, ladies. And if there are any gentlemen out there, but I don't think so because you know what? With my equipment, I can see we've got 6 people watching us. All right. So then Venus switched signs from Gemini, where it had been since April. You know, real talkative, gossipy Gemini. Venus was in Gemini since April. It moved into Cancer, the sign of Cancer, which is watery and, you know, more emotional and more, you know, wanting to be, you know, cozy at home, perhaps. You know, just more of a lunar type energy. And so, yeah, so Venus is now a Cancerian Venus. But so the new thing that's come up since we last talked is Mars squaring Pluto, which is woo, that's pretty high energy. And where's that date? In Capricorn. Shoot, I have the date here. I think it was like the 13th. Hold on. Yeah, the 13th. Mars square Pluto. So, you know, Mars is in Aries. Like, he is so powerful in Aries. That's his home sign. And so Mars is like just boom, 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 hitting all those planets that are piled up in Capricorn, Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter. And so now he's squaring Pluto. So, wow, man, in the collective, Mars square Pluto, kind of scary, you know, like a lot of Mars, the god of war, Pluto, you know, what comes up from the depths, you know, and sort of things that bubble over, really an intense energy. So I don't know, you know, we'll see what happens around the 13th. Um, could be really good if you need a lot of energy to like go down deep and like uncover something, you know, it can be good for that kind of stuff, you know, just personally. Um, and what we'll do is we can just go ahead and take a spin through everybody's charts and figure out what. Um, I'm not being rude. I just want to make sure that. Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure that people aren't having trouble getting on since I'm having so many technical difficulties. So let's go ahead and take a spin through a couple of people's charts. I mean, everybody who's here who we know the rising sign for, and that way we'll know, you know, where this Mars is and where this Pluto is. We can get a little bit more specific about how the energies are going to be affecting you. All right, let's see here. Let's give. I need to get back here. Rising signs. Why? Why? There we go. Okay, hold on, guys. Just bear with me a minute. This is where I want to be. Okay. But I need this to go away. Just such a challenge with one screen. I'm spoiled here. Why? Why are you not seeing this? Oh, hold on. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, because I'm looking. There we go. Okay, what do we got going on here? I need this to go away. Okay, so this is these are current transits, I think. Current transits updated. There we go. Okay, you'll notice the time is different because I'm in Denver. Alrighty. So we need to look, I know, at Taurus rising. Well, let's just see where we go first. We're going to move this. Wait, who has Cap rising? Aaron, remind me what your rising sign is. Oh, so you're in Florida, Elaine. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm going to let me check back in with these comments in just a minute. I want to just go through this for everybody quickly. But I do need to know what your rising sign is, Aaron, because I don't know why I can't remember. Scorpio. Okay, cool. All right. All right, so we got Taurus rising we need to do because that's Kathleen, that's Anne. We got Scorpio rising we need to do. Julie is Sag rising. Do I have everybody? Do I have everybody that's here at least? All right, oh, let's just get going here. So what I'm doing is I'm just advancing it in time, and that changes the rising sign. See, this is why the time is important, guys. So you see, like right here, see that? That's your rising sign. So now we got Taurus. So okay, so we're talking about Kathleen and Anne. So the Mars is in your 12th. We've talked about that 12th house Mars in prior weeks because Mars has been in Aries now for a little while. So, but it's squaring that Pluto in your ninth. Okay, so ninth house is religion, philosophy, foreign travel, foreigners, um, belief systems coming from that Mars in the 12th. So it could be like, wow, some really like deep revelations regarding spiritual pursuits, beliefs, belief systems. Um, I'm thinking like if you were wanting to do like a past life regression or something right now, that would probably be fruitful. Just because Mars coming from the 12th, which is like a sort of a, what do you call it? Not transcendental, but uh, what do you call it? Otherworldly kind of energy. And then the ninth house is, of course, religion and philosophy and spirituality and that type of thing. So, um, how is that Aries or that Mars in the 12th house working out for you guys so far? Are you feeling like a lot of desire to kind of retreat and like go into meditative space, um, and even like self isolate a bit? Like, are you driven to do that now? I'm just wondering because that might be how Mars would behave there, is, assuming he's behaving well. uh, okay. Um, what else? Okay, so let's go to another. Keep going. Gemini. Gosh, Elaine, for some reason I'm feeling like you might have Gemini rising. I don't know why. It's just my intuition, but we're going to find out. Scorpio. There we go. Okay, Aaron. So that Pluto's in the fifth house of creativity and children and pleasurable pursuits, speculation. And the Mars is squaring from the eighth. So that's a fifth, eighth house dynamic. That's interesting. So Mars in the eighth. I'm thinking about like other people's money that comes to you from another source, like inheritance type stuff, or debts owed, um, debts owed, or debts that are repaid to you. Squaring the fifth, something hidden maybe from the fifth house. Maybe you're having some creative impulses that are really related to the occult or something intense and even dark. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking, like Pluto in the fifth, squaring Mars. So Mars is just activating that fifth house Pluto energy. That's all those Capricorn planets. Oh wait, what am I talking about? This is Virgo rising. You guys, I am really, maybe it's like the time change or something. Did you catch that, Aaron? This is not Scorpio rising, it's Virgo rising. Hold on. Because I remember you had all that cap stuff in the ninth house. I remember that from our reading. Hold on. There we go. There's Scorpio rising. Okay, so that puts Pluto in the third. Okay, and Mars in the sixth. Third to sixth. Um, so do you have a lot of energy right now with Mars in the sixth, Aaron, for like fitness or, just paying attention to your health, eating right, something like that? Uh, or are you just like really busy at work? Because the sixth house is the house of toil, but it's also the house that represents health. Um, so maybe you're just really busy, you have a lot of work right now. Maybe, like I said, you've like really committed yourself to an active physical regime or something like that. But with this square to Pluto, the square to Pluto really adds intensity to that. Um, and the Pluto is in the third. So that's about like communication and travel, just like around town kind of travel, not like foreign travel, but around town. It's also siblings. I don't know, Aaron. I don't remember if you have any siblings, but third, third to sixth. Yeah, siblings. Do you have siblings, Aaron? Maybe some health concerns regarding siblings. I don't know. Um, what does any of that sound familiar? Let me check the comments now. Okay, so we did Kathleen, we did Anne, we did Aaron. Okay, I think that's all we have so far. All right, now let's check in with our comments. Get away here. Come on. There. All right. JP. JP. Oh, is that you? Is that you, Anne? JP. JP. Who's JP? Joseph Paradiso, perhaps? JP? I don't know. Reveal yourself, JP. Okay. Lane's in Florida. Okay, this is kind of cool. Here we go. I'm going to go back to the camera, guys. Hold on here. There we go. All right. Someone just texted me. Oh, okay. Um, so let me put this back up because it went away before I could talk about it. So yeah, Aaron, I think I had a bit of insight. The past life, which was found interesting, and I feel more motivated than before, and I've been figuring out what is next in my chapter. Well, isn't that exciting? I think that's good, Aaron. I would, I wonder how you got that insight. Like, was it a dream, or how did you connect with that past life experience? Okay, and you say, "Oh yes, Aaron." So what I was talking about sounds familiar. Oh, okay. So Kathleen says, "Yeah, the urge to self isolate, or like it doesn't. It's not like a negative thing, right? You just feel like sort of being in your own meditative space, kind of away from it all. The 12th house is like what we're separated from, being away from it all. The 12th house like represents topically, it represents prisons, institutions, hospitals. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's where it's like things that are put away, right? So, if you're in that headspace, you just want to kind of go and be contemplative by yourself. You have that urge. Four siblings. Okay, Aaron, you say you have four siblings. Um, so that's interesting. Yeah, so that Mars Pluto thing is from the third to the sixth. Let us know next time if something comes up with your siblings. It could just be like some really intense communication with them, you know? So just kind of be on the guard for some possible getting sort of drawn into um, some intensity with them, because the energy is there for that. But, on the other hand, it might be a good time to work some stuff out, things that maybe you've been avoiding with them. It's kind of like you sort of need to go and do that digging around, if that could possibly be a situation for you. Okay. All right, guys. Um, you ready to talk about Saturn? Lord of Karma, Father Time, Kronos. So I will share with you a couple of quotes about Saturn. Okay, where's he at here? Okay, so this book, um, The Archetypal Universe. Okay, so, we think about these planetary energies, they're symbolic, they're archetypal. And, you know, we talk about planets like your Saturn, my Venus, my moon. It's really not, that's really not an accurate way to describe them, but out of habit, I know that I talk about planets in that way. um, but the way that the ancients viewed the planets and the way that I am coming to understand the planets after 30 years of studying modern astrology, I've kind of switched my view on this. And my view is much more spiritual now when I think about astrology and planets and all that. But the planets are literally, and to my mind, divine emissaries. Okay, and they are gods, right? Or demigods. Okay, but and so their mission is to carry out the divine will, and they each have their own, just like each god has their own personality, right, and their own myth, and so when the divine will is expressed through the planets, and then we are responding to that, that's how the enchanted universe is really working with us, right? The universe is saying, okay, Brenda, it's time for you to get right with Saturn again. It's your second Saturn return. um the Indians called the planets grahas, which means grabbers, because the planets, they just kind of grab you with their agendas, right? Which is really an expression of the divine will, really. Which is basically just giving you your karmic assignment for that moment in time. You know, I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's just how I visualize it, how I think about it, how I conceptualize it. So let me read this to you. Saturn. The archetypal complex related to Saturn governs the small r reality principle, bringing order, structure, and consistency to human life. It also represents the inevitable sorrows and challenges of material incarnation. Okay, so that means life here on earth. We're all spirit souls, right? Except when we incarnate, we come here to the realm of matter to experience the realm of matter and separation and all the things that humans experience, love, emotion, desire, all of that stuff. So, material incarnation. Reminding us of the birth process and our vulnerable mortality, Saturn underlies our fearful tendencies to armor and defend ourselves from past and future pain, with the consequent hardening, tightening, and limiting effect on our psyches. So that's where the idea of, Saturn being restrictive and limiting, and being like associated with deprivation, that's where that comes from. The struggles associated with Saturn also lead to many positive traits, however, including responsibility and integrity, grounded humility, hard work, and patience. Spiritual opening seems to demand that we face our limits and experience the ego reduced to a meaningless speck, which then, paradoxically, allows us to reawaken to the universal mind and cosmic consciousness. During major transits of Saturn, we are more likely to feel the humbling and painful but necessary parts of this process. So, and then, we refer also to Saturn as the Lord of Karma, because he's the timekeeper. So, like, he's sort of handing out your karma. And karma doesn't necessarily mean like bad or good. Karma is just the accumulation of the cause and effect over like many, 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 many lifetimes, right? It's neither bad nor good, right? It's just the result of decisions and your free will over many lifetimes. That's what karma is. Okay, so it says Saturn also represents the needs of the cosmic creative principle to initiate the laws of cause and effect, both in the physical and ethical realms. Saturn oversees the balancing and healing effect of karma in successive lifetimes. That's interesting, right? So that we have an opportunity to learn from our mistakes, strive to do better, and know what it feels like to exist on all sides of life. So, everybody wants to hate on Saturn because it's difficult, right? No one wants to be told no. And that's basically what Saturn does. Saturn's like, no, you can't do that. Not now. Stop. Wait. You have to earn it first. No, you need to be responsible. All of those things. But the good thing, and the integrity of Saturn is that, you do the work and you be responsible and you don't take the shortcut, right? And then the reward is everlasting. I mean, the reward is then permanent. You know what I'm saying? So Saturn. So I would like to share with you my experience of Saturn. Why I'm feeling like tonight that I have Saturn on the brain. And my hope in sharing this is that it will be illustrate to you the Saturn principle. Okay. So I am approaching my second Saturn return. Okay, so when we talk about a Saturn return, that means Saturn returns to the place that it was when you were born. So that means it's going all the way around your chart and back to where it originally was. So like Aaron, for you, your first Saturn return will happen between the ages of like 28 and 30. Okay, so then the second Saturn return is like 28 to 30 years after that, which is me, and people my age. So while the first Saturn return is like when you become an adult astrologically, the second Saturn return is when you kind of evaluate your adult life because you've had 30 years to live it, basically. So, and it just so happens that because of where my sun is placed in, the sun is placed in my chart right now, Saturn is exactly squaring my sun, which is, your sun is like your life force. It's like that spark inside of you. It's like the plot line of your life that you're meant to follow, right? It's like your essence. And so with Saturn squaring that, forming a tense type of angular relationship to it, it's kind of a downer. I have to say, it, like drains one's energy, and tests your um, willingness to express your sun sign potential, right? It tests that. It says, okay, are you really an Aries, Brenda? And if you're really an Aries, then you need to work at being an Aries, right? Or, okay, so you're going to try and be who you are, but we're going to make you go really, we're going to give you some challenges about that. We're going to show you how to really be an Aries with integrity, you know. So it's interesting now that, and it was just a couple days ago that it was exact to the minute, this Saturn squaring my sun, um, that it was also, because Saturn retrogrades, so it goes forward in the sky and it goes backwards and it goes forward again. It was also at this same degree back in March, which was the last time I was here to help take care of my dad. Right. So my dad was discharged from like rehab because he had like fallen so many times and whatnot. And it turns out like now he needs 24-hour care. So I had to come out and, just help him when he got discharged to make sure that he had the care that he needed. And, March was like COVID, right? When COVID was really heating up. Um, and so here I am in Colorado and all hell's breaking loose all over the country and the planet with this virus. Like I didn't know if I was even going to be able to get back to Northern Virginia, to my family, because I felt like I can't leave my dad here. Things aren't, if he didn't have caretaking set up yet. And it was like Saturn was like, okay, you got responsibility here to your family, your husband and your two kids in Northern Virginia, but you have this responsibility to your father who literally needs 24/7 care. And if you don't do it, there's no one around to do it until you get something in place for him. And by the way, Saturn also is the father archetype. So, interesting, right? That father, I'm taking care of my father, doing all this Saturn stuff going on for me. So yeah, where did I want to go with that? So that's Saturn, and so like now, like the second Saturn return, it's not even exact until March of 21, until like next March. Okay, so this is just the time that the universe is saying, okay, Brenda, take a look around at all the structures in your life. What's working? What's not working? Where do you need to make some adjustments here? You know, um, and by the way, you need to work really hard at whatever it is you're doing, right? So during my last Saturn return, for example, during my last Saturn return, I was in social work school, and during the entire Saturn return, lasted about 2.5 years from start to finish. That is how long it took me to get my master's degree in social work. And so I was like studying, you know, all that time. And this time, this Saturn return, I'm doing something very similar. I'm studying again. I'm taking these 3 now ancient astrology courses, right? It's weird. It's like, and I've come back sort of full circle, to where I was back then. Back then, I was like, I got my master's degree in social work because I thought I needed credentials to be an astrologer, so I needed a clinical license. And so I go to social work school, but then I get sidetracked, and I get in traditional clinical work and do that for like 5 or something years. And then I have children, and then I don't practice social work anymore. And then I do, the mother thing and the, run the family business thing. But now it comes around again, and I'm back in school, and I'm back to the astrology. Just like that was where I started doing my first return, but I've returned to it this time. And I'm not going to get sidetracked this time. So, yeah. And so it's not just the Saturn return. So Saturn has a 7 year, you're familiar with the 7 year itch, right? Every 7 years, 7 year itch. Well, that's related to the Saturn cycle because every 7 years, Saturn will either square a 90-degree angle or oppose a 180-degree angle or conjunct a 0 degree. That's the return, right? So Saturn starts here, where it is on your birth chart when you're born, comes down here. Here's the first square, comes up here. Here's the opposition, or no, here's the second. No, here's the opposition. Comes up here. It's the second square, and then goes down here, and then it's the return. Every 7 years, right? So, guys, if you have your birth chart, or if I have your birth chart, um, you can look at those dates of when Saturn was triggered, when you had the Saturn square, the Saturn opposition, the Saturn return, and you will be able to see, where you're at in your cycle of becoming, basically, where you were in your level of consciousness. What was it that the universe was dishing out for you at that time? So, for example, when I graduated from college, that was during the time of a Saturn square, right? Um, and then there was another Saturn square when my girls were ages like 13 and 15, right? Not an easy time to be raising girls. 13 and 15, fun. No, wasn't fun. I love my girls, but ages 13 and 15 were very difficult. Um, a test. Saturn was testing me. What else? Okay, so the Saturn opposition. So I think about it, right? Okay, you're 7 years old. What happens when you're 7 years old? Okay, you're just really starting school. Okay, then what happens when you're 14? Right? You're just going into adolescence. Right? That's 7 years later. And then 7 years after that, you're 21. You're just kind of entering legal adulthood. And then 7 years later, you're 28. You've been an adult for a while, but now it's like, okay, like, is this career working for me? Is it not? Like, do I really need to grow up now? Right? So that's the 7 year itch. That's the Saturn cycle. And again, it's interesting to look back of what was going on during those moments, or not moments, months really. What else? Saturn square Saturn in 1970 for me. That was when my dad quit drinking, and I attribute that to like that Saturn square. Again, the father. And there was another Saturn square when my second child was born, which was also a tense time because another child, you got the older child. It was just hard for us as a family when the second child was born. So the point is, Saturn has challenges for us, but they're all a necessary part of the cycle of becoming, right? It's all part of your soul's path. And, if you just got to do whatever you wanted to do with no holds barred, then you're not fulfilling the soul's purpose, really, right? Because, life is not supposed to be 100% of the time a bed of roses. That's not how one experiences soul growth, in my opinion. So I have pontificated long enough. I would like to hear in the comments what your thoughts are about all of this, and what your thoughts are about the Saturn cycle, and if this idea of the 7 year itch resonates with you. Like, between ages 28 and 30, was that like a big, for Aaron, I know this doesn't apply to you, you're not there yet, but for the rest of you, between the ages of 28 and 30, was that, can you remember, like, big tests, big changes, letting go of one structure and building a whole nother one? All right, so I'm going to turn to your comments now, and let's see what you guys have to say about all this. Okay, I'm not seeing any. Okay, guys. Can somebody make a comment? Because I am streaming on Wi-Fi, which is not a good thing to do, but I don't have any choice. So I just want to make sure that I haven't lost you guys. Um, so can you just at least comment and let me know you're still with me? Like I haven't lost my audio. Still have 5 of you watching, so okay, here we go. That was a time of feeling like I needed to build a family. So yeah, building structure. Yeah, well, basically that's what happened with me as well. Um, I mean, at the very, very beginning of it was the first part of my marriage. Still with you, still here. Oh, Kathy, I didn't know you were here at all. Hi. Both structure and stressors. Okay, so like say your first Saturn return, you're 28 to 30 years old. You've already built some structures in your life as an adult, right? You've got your job. Lots of folks are married by then with kids. Um, so there's been an opportunity to build structure, but at that first Saturn return, we are evaluating them. Like for some people, Saturn is much more kind. And in fact, I will tell you that in ancient astrology, there's a concept called sect, SECT. So if you are born during the day, you have what's called a daytime chart. And so if you were born during the day, um, the the planets that are called the malefics, Saturn and Mars. Saturn is the insect malefic during daytime charts. So that means even though Saturn is the lord of karma and father time and brings us tests, if you were born in the daytime, Saturn is going to be much more kind to you, and you are going to see, and again, I'm using a him, but you're going to see, um, it's going to be easier to experience the positive parts of Saturn, depending on what other else is going on in your chart. But generally speaking, if you were born during the day, Saturn is not going to be as difficult for you as it is for someone who's born during the night. Conversely, if you were born during the night, Mars, the other malefic, is not going to give you as much of a problem as Saturn is, because Saturn is the out of sect malefic if you were born at night. And the same concept goes for the benefics. The benefics are Jupiter and Venus. So if you were born during the day, the insect benefic is Jupiter. So you're going to get the benefits of Jupiter more strongly if you were born during the day, as opposed to being born at night. If you were born at night, Venus is the insect benefic. So Venus is going to give you, more of her benefits than if you were born at night than if you were born during the day. So the point that I was trying to get at is like a lot of times with these Saturn returns, people that's like a great time of achievement for people. Like they get that huge promotion, right? Because they've put in the hard work. And so, it's paying, the dividends are paying off. So it doesn't always have to be negative. And in fact, because it's such a long cycle, like it's 2 years about, it could start out, just totally breaking down all the structure that you have. And then by the end of the return, you may have built up something, you know, if you weren't sort of resisting letting go of what you should have let go of, you then had the opportunity to build something up that's going to be much more strong and long lasting until the next Saturn return, and then you might tear it all down again. Okay, guys. Okay. All right, I want to read to you one more thing about Saturn, and then let's turn to the tarot. So I want to play with the cards for a little bit too. Oh, this isn't the book I want. Where'd the book go? Here it is. So, this book, The Greatness of Saturn, a therapeutic myth. I read about this. I don't know, online somewhere. I think actually it was on Twitter. An astrologer posted uh, that it would be good if you're like having your Saturn return or otherwise having a difficult Saturn transit to read this book because this book was written from the perspective of Indian astrology, and it's like a huge long myth with all these like names in Sanskrit. It's like I can't even tell you, like I can't even begin to pronounce them. But it starts out talking about like each of the planets and why one is better than the other, as represented by these people who come to the court of this king representing these planets. But of course, the end of the story is that Saturn is the best of all the planets, the strongest, the most noble, the one to be the most feared. Um, because the ancients, there was no Uranus, there was no Pluto, there was no Neptune, and Saturn was most the furthest out planet to the naked eye, at least, right? So that's why planet Saturn represents death and endings and boundaries, because it was the very last planet, until we discovered the outer planets. So I wanted to read this little quote here. And so like the whole approach to this book is that, remember when I was talking earlier about how the planets are actually divine emissaries to the realm of matter? So the whole premise of this book is that rather than curse Saturn, and be like, oh God, it's my Saturn return, that damn Saturn, that you should be making an offering to Saturn because he is a god and he's more likely to smile upon you if you make offerings to him. So that's basically what this book is recommending that you do. And that you do it, for example, on his day, Saturday. And there's this whole type of esoteric wisdom that's actually just astrological magic. But I digress. I won't go there. But basically, it's about, doing like spells and prayers and offerings to the planets based on whatever's going on in the sky at the time. Okay, but I wanted to read you this quote here. Okay. Astrologically, Saturn is lame because he is the slowest moving of the 9 planets. An afflicted Saturn in a horoscope may literally indicate lameness. Well, gee, thanks. In North India, they say that Time has very short hair on his neck and runs very fast. People try to catch him, but can't hold onto his hair. Saturn is Time, and Saturn's slowness also makes him easy to catch. Sincere penance and devotion, which are good ways to catch Saturn, can make a significant difference in your ability to refrain from self-identifying with your limitations. No method can totally eliminate Saturn's effects, since all living beings are eternally subject to his influence, but worship can at least reduce their intensity. Direct worship of Saturn or worship of Lord Shiva or of the monkey and the god, blah, 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 and then it just goes on in all this Indian Sanskrit phrases and whatnot. Lord Shiva, I guess, which is the same as Saturn, is the god of death and time and can The god of death and time, and can influence Saturn because Saturn is effectively one portion of his power. Whatever. Um, yeah. So that's Saturn. I'm feeling Saturn a lot these days. You know, just the responsibility of being out here and helping my dad and um yeah. You know, when I was here in March it wasn't so difficult. I don't know what the difference was. In March I came here and I felt more like, wow, it feels really good to do this, you know, like this is good, you know, for my karmic contract with my dad, you know, kind of do some healing and um you know, a chance to really connect with him. He's 88, you know, I don't know much longer he's going to be here. And I never got a chance to say goodbye to my mom. And I thought, wow, this is what I need. You know, this is good karma for me. This is part of my soul's path. Felt really good about it. And so now I'm out here this time and I am just tired. And I've only been here like 2 days. I'm just tired, you know, I don't know what it is. Um, but I digress. What's up, guys? I'm going to check in here again. Okay, this is what Rob says. Hi, Rob. Thank you for joining me. Rob says, when I was 28, I broke up with my boyfriend of 6 years, who was not one of my great loves. Found the first true love of my life. Whoops, let me come back. I set my comments to automatically go off because I kept leaving them on the screen last time. The first true love of my life, shifting the entire course of my life, unfolding. I discovered the me I had been waiting for. We traveled all over the world together, and then he got sick and died within 2 years, all by the time I turned 30. Wow, so that was quite the Saturn journey, Rob, right? But like, think about it. Like, that was such a necessary part of your whole journey, that whole thing, right? And that's the thing, you know, you look back on the hardest lessons of Saturn and you think, it sucked while I was going through it, but wow, you know, that I'm really who I am because of it. Lost the video. What? Did anybody else lose the video? Okay. If anybody else lost the video, let me know. Okay. All right. Kathleen, maybe it's your internet for a second. Okay. I'm just paranoid because, like I said, I'm on Wi-Fi now, and I never stream on Wi-Fi because that's like a big no-no for obvious reasons. Um, okay, so we were going to do. Oh, and by the way, guys, speaking of tarot, um, I pulled these. You know, I pull 2 tarot cards a day usually, just to kind of get a sense of what's, you know, what archetypes are speaking to me for the day, and also it's a good way to learn the tarot. You know, if you're like every day pulling at least one card. I pulled one card a day for a long time, but now I'm doing 2 because I feel like I'm a little bit more familiar with the deck, and I, I, I want to challenge myself with reading a two card spread. But anyway, this is what I get today. So we have the Tower, which is Mars and Scorpio, and Justice, which is, oh my God, is it Saturn? I have to look it up because there's astrological associations. Rob, do you know? With every card. Well, I see the scales here, so maybe it's Libra or Jupiter. I don't know. I could look that up, but I don't have the right book. Okay. So yeah, that's what I got today, and that's what, quite frankly, how I'm feeling today. So I would, you know, that's why, like, I wouldn't be surprised if I totally lost the internet connection. And I'm not surprised. Oh, Rob, you weren't here at the beginning of the stream, but I I had no audio for like the first, what, 5 minutes. and thank God made a comment. Really can't hear you. So guys, how about we pick a card for the week? Okay, so this will just be a card for this week. And I only have the major arcana here, the 22 cards of the major arcana, to make it a little bit easier. Um, so I'm going to shuffle these cards. So I want you guys to be thinking and asking the oracle to bring us a card that will provide us some insight or guidance for the week forward. You know, what message does the enchanted universe have for us, and that is being spoken through the oracle of the tarot? How about that? So let's think about this together, and then I'll pull the one card. And if you have your journal with you, you know, make sure you write down what card we pull tonight, so you can remember to think about it through the week. And not just like, you know, what the archetype might be saying in terms of a specific interpretation, but like even literally, you know, like, do you see something in the image in the card? Does that appear to you like in a weird way? Like I literally saw, um, you know, a white horse, you know, on my way to work the other day, right? Something like that. Okay, here we go. One card, one of the majors. What's it gonna be? Drum roll. Here we go. Oh my gosh, you guys! We got the hangman again. Doo 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 doo, hangman again. Okay, well, at least, because remember, we got the hangman at the new moon. So I guess the enchanted universe doesn't think we're getting the message or something. We got the hangman again. Isn't that funny? Okay, so I want to show you. I have this here. See? We got the hangman again, guys. So, what do we know about the hanged man? Well, surrender to divine will. All is in divine order. Live and let God. Quit the struggle. Even if you have Saturn on the brain, let go of the struggle. Um, and then the other interpretation, which is very different, is that there's someone. If this card does not represent you as the querent, the person who pulled the card, and you pulled the card because we all did this together. So this is your card for the week too. It's like you pulled it. I just have the deck here with me. Um, the other interpretation of the Hanged Man is that if it represents somebody other than you, somebody around you, that there's somebody around you who is a traitor or not being honest or just lying to you or is a snake in the grass. And so I learned that I'm thinking like because I read that in one of the online interpretations of the card, and I was like, okay, well, that makes sense because you know what? Oh my gosh, you guys, the last time I was here at my dad's, I got the hangman like 3 times that week. And now here I get it again. So, okay, which one of the caregivers is lying to me this time? Because last time there were like all these caregivers in and out of my dad's house because his wife is also disabled. So now they both need 24/7 care. And so like some were getting fired, some were getting hired, and they were all lying about each other. And I didn't know who to believe. You know, they all had a different story. But it turns out the one that I believed was the one who was the big liar. And I got this card like 3 times that week. And so now here I am back at my dad's, and I'm getting the hangman again. We're getting the hangman. So, interesting. What do you guys think about that? So, Aaron, you got the Knight of Wands. Okay. So, what does that mean to you, Aaron? What are you thinking? And Rob, do you have the same interpretation of the Knight of Wands as I do, assuming you're still here? I mean, not Knight of Wands, the Hanged Man. Knight of Wands. Are you using, Aaron, are you using the Rider-Waite deck? So we're going to finish up soon, guys. 6:30. Oh, wait a minute. The time change is weird. I can't even figure out how long we've been going on, guys. Came on at 6:30, 7:30, so just over an hour. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, time to finish up. Thank you guys for joining me so much. I really appreciate it. Let me just tell you this one little story. So, all this live streaming stuff is really new to me. I just started doing this. Let's see, when was that? Rob, when did we do that service, that online service? May 31st? So I just started this whole live streaming thing May 31st. Just like got the bug and, learned the software, got the equipment, made a commitment to myself and to you guys to do this every Sunday night. And so, there are these online communities, these people I follow on YouTube that I've been learning a lot from. I'm actually in one of their coaching groups for live streaming. And so they did this thing for the month of August called LEDA, L-E-D-A, live every day in August, the LEDA challenge. So, to all the people who like follow their YouTube channel, are like, hey, do this YouTube challenge. Do this LEDA challenge. Go live every day in August because that's how you're going to learn. And, otherwise it'll take you like a year or more to learn this. So just do it every day. And this is a safe space to do it. And so they set up a Facebook page. And so every day you get a different challenge. And then you go live on the Facebook page. It's a private page. No one else can see it. So it's like a safe place to practice and learn and whatnot. But the challenges that you get every day are like these challenges that require a good deal of introspection. And so like people will be doing, like what is your secret dream? What is your perception of yourself versus how other people perceive you? What is your story? Why do you do what you do? And so like people get on there and they start talking and they get emotional and whatnot. And so, and we all like watch everybody else's lives. And so I've been doing it every day. And like no one has been watching me. So there's like 500 and some people in this group, right? And so like I'll do a live stream and then I'll go back and I'll look. Or like during it there won't be any comments and I'll go back and I'll look, after it's not live anymore and there won't be any comments. Whereas like somebody who streamed like an hour after me would get like 30 comments. I'm like, okay, like what's up? What's up with this, right? So I just really appreciate you guys, you being here. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. All of this, like I say, is just really new to me. And this whole idea of this channel is just a work in progress. Like it's kind of coming together. I know there's a lot of astrology and, that's like my first love and my go-to, but I really want to expand it to other metaphysical topics. I know, Kathleen, for example, you have an interest in past life regression and, there's just so much stuff. But the learning curve is kind of big. But it's fun and it's a challenge. So we're going to get there and we're going to expand the channel and bring in some stuff in addition to astrology. And I really want to hear from you guys, what you find of value. And again, like what you'd like to see on Sunday nights. Which reminds me, if you haven't already, I need you guys to please subscribe if you do enjoy getting together like this. Please subscribe. And where's my subscribe page? I have it here somewhere. There. Here we go. So subscribe and show me some love, guys. So I think most of you catch me on Facebook, right? So if you're following me on Facebook on the STMB page, Spirit Throw Bone page, then you'll get an alert whenever I go live. But if you follow me on YouTube, that's really good. And that you subscribe on YouTube, and then there's like a little bell. If you click on the little bell, then whenever I go live, you'll get like a notification, assuming you have them turned on your phone, that I've gone live. And we really like to build the YouTube subscriber list and watch time and stuff like that, because I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers right now. That's like my first milestone. So if you haven't already, even if you prefer to watch it on Facebook, if you wouldn't mind going to Spirit Throw Me a Bone live on YouTube and subscribing, I really appreciate it. So show me some love and tickle that subscribe button. All right, guys. What do we got now? Okay, so we're going to finish up.
Well, here we go, around again, and back we come. Still here I am. This is non-random tandem.
So yeah, thank you so much for joining me, guys, tonight. It's been a long couple of days, and it's really been great just to hang out with you guys. I really appreciate you being here. And time to open the circle. How am I gonna do this? I guess I'm gonna use my fingers. Okay, let's do this, guys. I wanna make sure you can hear me. Okay, we're gonna go in the other direction, counterclockwise, to open the circle. I really would like to not do this with my fingers, but I don't have any choice. Okay. By the earth that is her body, thank you, North. By the waters of her living womb, thank you, West. By the fire of her bright spirit, thank you, South. And by the air that is her breath, thank you, East. The circle is open but unbroken. Go forward into enchantment, my dear friends. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Same enchanted time, same enchanted channel. Bye-bye.
We made a vow, kept it right from the start, to help extract the poison from our medicine heart. Oh, I just wanna thank you for doing your part. I promise you that I'll always do mine. So in all our emotion, we've made a web, our patterns woven, we're common threads. There is nothing you could do to shake me loose. I've got you, I'm not leaving. So go climb your mountain and know your name. The call you answer springs from the same flame I do, and as to take your leap. Just know before I fly into the deep, I'm right here with you. Everywhere you go, I'm right here with you. Everywhere you go, I'm right here with you. In case you needed to know if I was here, I'm right here with you. We're like the stars in the sky. They are made of light, and just like you and I, they are closely tied. We're of the same constellation. That's how we make it through the night. I'm right here with you. Everywhere you go, I'm right here